Will Proposition 61 result in lowered prescription drug costs for Californians?
Let's talk about that.
Thank you for watching. This is Dr. Mark Vaughan of the Auburn Medical Group speaking about Proposition 61, California proposition coming up in our 2016 election very soon. This one's titled State Prescription Drug Purchases Pricing Standards. It prohibits the state from purchasing prescription drugs at any price lower than the lowest price paid for the same drug by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Now, why the VA? Well, because the VA is apparently the only federal department that negotiates for good drug prices. So here's the problem with using the VA's pricing as our standard for California for making a deal for what drug prices we'll get. There's some confidential drug pricing practices between drug companies and the VA which may not be made public through the Freedom of Information Act. In that case, this proposition, if it went through, we'd go with the lowest known price paid for the drug for a reference. Regardless, the proposition would result, or is expected to result, in lower overall drug prices for the state. So here's some possible repercussions. The drug companies are making these deals with the VA now, and they may decide that if making the very sweetheart deal with the VA results in California and possibly then other states not having to pay the price they've been paying, but only paying them the price the VA gets, well, they may decide to raise their prices to the VA. At this point, the law does not prevent that from happening. Okay, so that's one possible thing that could happen. Another one is the drug companies might not agree to sell to the state for the VA price. Again, it's not forcing the drug companies to maintain a price, it's forcing the state to only pay a certain amount. So this could force the state to purchase competitors' drugs. So they may not get drug A, so they have to go to company B and get it, and they're not making a deal with the VA, so we don't have that reference that they'd have to stay under. So the state may actually pay more than they currently do because they have to go with drug B. Okay, so that could be expensive. The savings under the proposition could be lost through this action. Federal law may also force Medi-Cal to pay for certain drugs even when the manufacturer will not agree to give the state the same deals as the VA because it's a federal law and this state law can't supersede that law. So the overall fiscal effect ranges from relatively little effect to significant annual savings, but the significant annual savings is actually disputed by the California Medical Association. And I don't know if there is some undue influence of the drug industry on CMA to make this statement. I hope that's not the case, and I don't have knowledge that it is. It may be that in their analysis, they actually do think that because of the way drug companies behave, that they will raise prices. On the other hand, you have people saying the drug companies are fighting this proposition as hard as they can and pouring millions of dollars into fighting it because they know it marks the end of their gravy train of charging us super high drug prices. So we don't know. If this goes into law, there will probably be court cases to determine how it is implemented and what kind of response drug companies are allowed to have in response to it. A little scary as far as what kind of regulation we're having on private industry. As far as being able to have private property and sell at the price you want to. At the same time, people raise moral questions of drug companies being able to charge $3,000 a pill or $300,000 for a year of treatment that's life-saving for an individual. So there's some balancing that we have to go through here in deciding how we vote on this, for one, but also how we handle the repercussions of this bill. I'll leave it to you to decide how you're going to vote on this one.